Welcome and thank you for joining us for the second half hour of the Factor Uncensored. A woman in Minnesota has raised over $1 million asking for protection for her family after she went viral in a video where she admitted to calling an autistic black child the N-word. Her name is Shiloh Hendricks. She says her family has been in jeopardy since the video went public. As of tonight, that GoFundMe page is no longer available, so we're not sure what happened to the money, if she removed it or what. Here's the latest and the moment Hendricks was confronted on video.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
What if he acts like one? He's gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call a child, 5-year-old, an N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act.
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech.
The question is this our America? My next guest is Dante King, author and human resource management consultant. He shares his take on this situation. Make it make sense, Dante.
We're talking about an orientation, an anti-Black orientation that has been trained in, not only that this woman is inspired to act out this type of ill will and hatred toward this Black individual, but that she had support, that it inspired people to then contribute to her cause to protect her. And so we see the ongoing use and manipulative power that can be wielded by white women where a 5-year-old child is concerned, and that there is also, trained into this society where Black people are concerned, a lack of empathy and compassion.
And really quick, Dante, before we go on, tell us what she accused the child of doing that prompted her to call him the N-word.
Well, she claimed or alleged that the child had taken something from her child's bag, her child's baby bag.
Diaper bag.
Yeah, and yet that too was not necessarily proven, or it was not a statement of fact. It was a statement of her perception. And so even if that was the case, though, we're talking about a 5-year-old child who innocently may have picked up something that they thought was engaging, that they wanted to potentially maybe play with, or they thought was interesting. And yet the impulse, the immediate impulse in disposition is to go to anger. And so we have to understand, too, where the use of that N-word is just where the use of that N-word is placed in our culture, in our society, in the ways in which it's been programmed as a very hateful, derogatory term that we use, or that has been used rather, against African-American people, that was the go-to for this woman. She went to anger. She didn't go to, oh, you want me to show you how to play with this toy? This was a child. No. So we have to understand that this is a very sustained, hateful orientation, corrupt and perverse psychological orientation that has been trained into white people in this country. And it has.
And would you say all white people or some white people? What?
I say in my book that we are all suffering from a collective psychosis, because from the founding of this country, and really from the entrance of European people into the Americas during the colonial period, we have been under the cultural domination, the institutional domination and control of people who have now, for centuries, characterized themselves as white. And so everything that we learn, everything that we believe is based on their cultural orientation, their social and sociological orientations. And we also, if you go back to the colonial period, if you read my book, I give dozens of examples where American institutions, even academic institutions, were leveraged to target Black people, even to the degree that Harvard, William and Mary College, Yale, Columbia, these institutions produced philosophies to prove Black inferiority, right? That we were inferior morally and intellectually. And so we have to understand that the anti-Black orientation has been trained into all of us, even including Black people. And I take that to task in my work. I think it's a problem that sits mostly with white people because they juxtapose their entire identity against the fact that they are more superior than people who are characterized and labeled as Black. And as Toni Morrison put it, if you need another person to put down in order to feel a sense of value and worth, then something is seriously wrong. And so we have to contend with these realities and look at them deeper than just calling it out as racism or ignorance or hatred. This is psychopathological.
All right. Dante King, who is a human resources management consultant and author of the book, and you can see the book right there behind him. Always good to have you on The Factor Uncensored. Thank you for this latest assessment of racism in the country. We appreciate your time, sir.